What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Cam and Collins Collective.
Yeah.
Our first episode of the new year.
Mm.
It's been a minute. But we're back. I'm your co-host, Cameron Graham. Joined by my wonderful, as always, co-host, your boy. You know him, you love him.
You you throw in new words every single time, so I'm never knowing when to say my name.
I gotta switch it up. You just gotta be ready to jump. Come on, you're an actor.
That's on me. Dang, Collins.
Welcome back to the podcast. It's been a minute. A lot of stuff has happened. I'm in a completely new house. We're completely moved in.
Right.
It's a new school year. Well, not new school year. It's a new semester. For Shane and I in college. A lot of new stuff. A lot of new stuff in our personal lives, and then a lot of new stuff in the world, which we will get into. But Shane, how about a rose, a thorn, and a bud? How have you been?
Oh man. Okay. Rose. I got a couple roses. I'm gonna be honest. First rose, I got. They playing around right now, so I'm not gonna try to dabble with my hands. But I got two kittens to be specific. The names are Coda and Kiko. They're siblings. Coda is a boy. Kiko is a girl. Coda,
I think I just saw one climb up on you.
yeah, no, yeah, they be chilling on the back of the back of the chair. I'm gonna attempt to pick one of them up. It's not gonna work. Okay, I'll just
Nah.
no, dude. Yeah, they still got their claws in, and they be feeling a little froggy sometimes. So I'm I say that way too much. Feeling froggy. I don't, I don't even know where that phrase came from for real. That's okay. Um. Okay. Anyways, so I love my cats. They're great. I'll try to introduce them to y'all later. They'll probably make an appearance in the background. Um. Second rose is I'm about to start work at a daycare, and I'm super excited about that. Um. I'm I've been looking for work for a minute. I'm a bum, I know, but you know, I like working with the youth. I think there's so much to learn from everybody, young or old at that point. And I like their energy. Um I think that type of energy is like it'll be refreshing in my life, you know what I'm saying? After, you know, you know, being stuck inside, not seeing everybody, it'll be nice to be able to interact with the little homies, um, be a mentor to them and whatnot. So I'm looking forward to that. Um, a thorn, thorn. I'm gonna be honest. I've been eating like trash. I'm gonna be real. Um, Still been losing weight, but the progress has slowed. And I'm not super happy with myself. I'm not discouraged, but I'm not making the progress I want to be making. So I just got to get back on that. They're playing with my charger right now. Um, I just so this is Kiko.
Hey.
Kiko. Okay. God, them nails, man. It's inhumane to declaw cats, but when they kittens, they just be climbing everywhere. My back is all messed up. I had a couple scars on my face. Well, not scars, but they scratched on my face a little bit. Got my lip one time. Um, they got my hands a couple times. They're all healing up. They weren't super deep scratches, but I felt them. So, um, low key, that's another one. They be hurting, bro. They just be okay. Well,
Scratching you
so
up.
huh?
I said they're scratching you up.
Heck yeah. So, but yeah, it's cool. But me and Cameron talked about it a little bit earlier today, but it's a lot of excellent film coming out. And I'm looking forward to some, some film watching and whatnot. So
Yeah.
it's gonna be a good time. Cameron, Rose, Thorn, and Bud, my friend.
Um, Rose. Uh, um. So I have a girlfriend for the first, well, not for the first time, but for the first time in a while. Um,
Ah,
it's weird. It's like I went a very long time with being like the friend, you know. Um, it's like I was putting in my rep. It's kind of like how like in like fraternity, not. I'm trying to think of a
I'm dead.
and like when you get into like it's like I had to build myself up the ladder when it came to like affection from the opposite sex. So kind of like in wrestling, you kind of have to start as a jobber, so you kind of lose every match you have, and then you gradually, as the years go on, and you gain more experience and you train, then you start like then you develop a character, and then you start actually being like a wrestler who wins. A loose wrestling analogy for you guys. And I feel like that's been my thing with girls for like the first. I didn't have a girlfriend or a real girlfriend until I was 18 years old. And that's like that's normal, you know. There's not anything wrong with that. It's just like it's weird, you know, the experience having a girlfriend. And
Mm.
my girlfriend now, she just came back from like break and everything. And it was just like I don't know. It was like she got in the car and everything, and I hadn't seen
You
her
mean
in a
like you mean like she was up she was with her family?
yeah. And she got in the car. I was just it's just I don't know. It's just like I missed her. I
Oh,
miss kissing her
you
face.
little butterflies in your tummy.
Yeah. Um I really do love that girl. And I was happy that I got to see her again, and we started a new show together. Gonna watch a couple of movies. We're gonna go through the studio Ghibli movies
Oh, I love them. Those are all classics.
because I've always been aware of them, but I've never actually seen them. So we're
You
gonna
not even see my neighbor. I don't want to butcher the title, but you never seen Totoro before?
nah. I didn't even know that.
Golly.
I found out about what that was from you. The first one I had heard of was Spirited Away,
Mm.
or
It's
at least or maybe the Secret Life of Arietti. One of those two, because I remember they were promoting it on Disney Channel because Bridget Midler was in it, or one of those Disney people. Um, or the dubbed version, not the.
oh, I'm like
Yeah, Bridget Midler's out here speaking
I,
Japanese.
I don't know why okay, I didn't even think about a dub version of a Studio Ghibli. I don't think no, that's not true. That's not true. Totoro, the first time I watched Totoro was a dub, but Cameron, I keep interrupting you. That's on me.
You're good. You're good. But yeah, I got to see my wonderful, beautiful girlfriend again. Thorn. Um, I've been really tired lately. I had a big move. Shane helped a lot. My other friends helped a lot. Shout out to them. But the majority of the work we did, it just had to be with like me and my brothers. And Chandler started school like a week early. And Charles is my older brother. My younger brother started school again a week early. And then my older brother, Charles, he's studying for the LSAT right now, which is a really difficult test to get into law school. So a lot of it had to be like me and my friends or like me and my dad. And that just took a whole lot out of me. I'm still tired. And then the last day that we had to move, we worked from, I worked from 10:30 till about 1 in the morning. And I slept the entire day because we had to get everything out of the house. So I slept the entire day. Um, when we went to the storage unit, I was just tossing stuff in the storage unit just so we could get to leave it. That was horrible. I never want to move again.
Hey, shout out Kenyatta, but when when we when we went to the storage unit the first night, when it was me. I called Kenyatta over Ashanti. His name is Ashanti. I know him as Kenyatta. It's a long story,
Yeah.
but relax. Ah, um, they are tearing me up, son. Um, the first night when we went to the storage unit, it was real icy on the ground, and I said I'm very cautious of ice. Ice is my worst enemy. If I fall, that's the worst embarrassment ever. If, there's a lot of stuff that I'd be less embarrassed about than falling on ice.
Yeah.
If, um, and it, bro, it also just hurts. Like yeah, but the embarrassment hurts much more. um, but we was chilling. I said, relax, y'all. They was all slipping and sliding,
Just
playing like it was
like an
Winter
ice.
Wonderland. And they was trying to get fancy footwork. My boy KC, I turn around, bro. I haven't laughed that hard in a minute. A genuine good from the gut. You running out of breath because you laughing so hard.
Yeah.
That was hilarious.
Yeah, my dad actually got mad at me for he was like, you were just standing there just laughing. Your friend could have been hurt. I was like, Dad, Jill.
He got to get hip to the process. It's laugh first, ask if they doing good later.
Yeah,
That's how
and
that
then
works.
laugh again afterwards.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No. We moving the one before I move on, the one thing that made moving a lot like better was we had a bunch of like our friends and everything like come help us out, and that made it having people to like have fun with and like talk to made the like tedious, like I think there's a skill which like you rate like stress levels on, or like, and moving it ranks very high on the stress level, like
Okay.
um and it was still stressful either way, but it would have been a whole lot more stressful if I didn't have like a ton of my friends there with me. So if any of you guys are watching this, thank you so much. I really
I'll
appreciate
see y'all.
it. And then lastly, my bud. I don't know, Shan. Let me be optimistic. I'm gonna be optimistic. We don't like pessimism.
Okay, okay.
Um, I'm taking some interesting classes this semester that I'm looking forward to in my film major. I'm taking film theory and criticism, which is basically like how to be a film critic. You know, how Roger Ebert comes up with these elaborate ideas and theories about the movies he watches. You know, that's you basically do that with movies. Um,
I got no idea who that is.
Roger Ebert. That you
I feel like I've heard the
have you
name,
ever
but
seen like the two thumbs up on like movies, or like 4 stars?
I seen 4 stars.
That when in regards to movies, most of that came from Roger Ebert, or he was like the
Oh, shout out my boy.
he passed away in like 2017. But
Dang, I'm sleep.
and then I'm taking an African American theater class, which is always great. Um and I'm really, really, really looking forward to those classes. Most of my classes this semester I'm looking forward to. I don't know if there's a class that like I don't want to take. There's classes that are going to be hard, but there's none that I don't want to take. Hello. Which one is that?
This my boy. This my boy Coda. Yeah. So you'll see Kiko. Kiko was black. They litter mates. I don't know why he came out gray and with stripes, but
All
what did he? Um, I'm gonna set you down, love homie.
right, but those were our rose thorns and buds. Um, but So it's a new year. And what's it, Shane? Our fifth episode? Sixth episode. We're 6 episodes into the podcast.
Oh, yeah, you right.
Or fifth.
I didn't know if you was talking about the show or you was talking. I didn't know.
Lovecraft Country.
Yeah,
We're one episode ahead of the episodes of Lovecraft Country that we've been watching. Oh no, we still are 6 because we had the Christmas special. Okay, we're on our 6th episode.
Yeah, we're on episode 6.
Yes. But it's a new year. So we've been discussing making some changes, make it a little bit different. We have some ideas. We're not gonna let everything spill. One, because we want to keep you guys surprised. Two, because we don't know the logistics of everything.
Facts.
But what we are going to do in the future, we're going to cut our episodes in half. The episodes, our top 5 segment, I don't think either of us expected it to become as expansive as it did. When we first came up with the concept of the show, we just thought it was just going to be like this quick, list thing, and then we were going to move on. But then we started talking about our picks and really getting engaged. It became like its entire segment. There's episodes that have been the majority of the episode has been a top 5. So, and then we also have our television review. We're currently watching Lovecraft Country, or a television review. In the future, maybe even we'll review movies, but we're going to cut it in half. So we're going to have one episode devoted to the top 5. And then we're going to have one episode devoted to the television film review. And that's going to happen starting next week. And this week,
/ discussion.
/ discussion. And when starting, so this episode isn't going to include a top 5. We'll get into that in a second. But starting next week, there will be 2 episodes dropped with a shorter length, maybe possibly, but it gives us more time to really talk about the stuff that we want to talk about, because we don't want to feel like we're rushing. We don't want to make you guys sit and watch 3 hours of us talking, because that's a little too much. But then at the same time, we got stuff that we want to talk about. So that will be taking place next week. We're not going to have a top 5 this episode though, because with some stuff that's happened last week in the United States, we just wanted to talk. Me and Shane have spoken about it. We just wanted to talk. Not even a ton, I don't think. We've tasted a little bit, as we usually do, but we haven't. We want to talk about like everything going on in the United States. As you guys know,
we're saying that like we have international viewers.
Yeah. But hey, we never know. Somebody might be tuning in from.
If it was somebody tuning in, hey. No, I'm about to say something like disrespectful. A worse version of me would have said some like super off-brand, not really German word, and it would have been super disrespectful and offensive. A better me has the self-control to recognize that that's an issue.
Let's give a clap for Shane for his for his human decency. We
for human decency.
But yeah, as we know, Trump supporters stormed the Capitol last week. As you guys all know, unless you've literally been sleeping under a rock, this is the first time something like this has happened since the 19th century, the 1800s.
How does that work? Real quick, I've never understood that. Okay, if it's the 19th century Why was it in the 1800s?
Because I think they do it because like there wasn't like a year zero. The first year was year one.
That's a great point. Okay,
Yeah, I
we're
think
making progress.
yeah, that's
That's,
always
that's,
confused me a little bit too. I'm like, wait, why are we 21st century if we're 2000?
he said 2000.
Yeah, but yeah, no, that's the way that works. But something like this hasn't happened. Like it's weird. I would always talk to my friends. And Shane, I don't want to get your opinion on this too. I always talk to my friends about like, we've had moments in my like lifetime, but we've never had a moment like a JFK being assassinated. We never had like a Martin Luther King. I mean, those are
Yeah,
assassinations, but just like a big moment, or like a September. We were all kids or not born when September 11th
yeah,
happened.
exactly. I
Like,
was just about to say that.
yeah, but like in our lifetime, we've never had something that we were watching on the news like, oh my goodness, this is really happening. You know,
Hmm.
I would always talk to my friends about that. I would be like, man, I kind of like I don't want anything too terrible. I'm not wishing for like a disaster, but I kind of want like one of those moments where I can be like to my kids one day, yeah, I remember watching that on the news, or like, and by golly, we got one.
Cameron, pause. What'd you just say?
I said, by golly.
Facts. Continue.
I'm claiming it. I'm not ashamed. Um, but yeah, it's just I would love to say that I was shocked and I was like how could something like this happen in the United States, the greatest country on earth? I would love to get up here and say that, but like it
But that make you a white person.
yes, that would make me white. Think I don't know how people gave Trump this power and the platform that he had, and then just expected seeing all these people endorse him, seeing David Duke come out and be like, yeah, Trump's our dude. Seeing him in the Charlottesville riots, or like, and him coming out and being like, yeah, there's good people on both sides. Or come on, say just I remember watching the debate and they asked him, "Hey, are you denounce white supremacy? Denounce it." And he's like, "I have already." And they're like, "Okay, do it right now. Do it."
Yeah, but I have. What more are you asking of me? I've already done enough. Like,
Yeah.
what?
And I remember Joe Biden was just like, "Do it then. Go ahead and do it. Say it. Say it. Say it. Say it. You denounce white supremacy." He's like, "What do you want me to call him? What do you want me to call him?" I just like this dude couldn't do
It
it.
sounds like when you catch it sounds like when you catch when you catch somebody stealing or catch somebody lying. They're like, what do you want me to say? That like what am I supposed to do? Like what can I do? Like it just it was just like, dude, who is this dude, bro? Where did y'all find this orange peel?
Yeah, and I just like Donald Trump. Donald Trump has not been like, it wasn't like this dude just popped up in my mind. Like
Facts.
Donald Trump has been taking advantage of black people and people of color literally as long as he has had any type of like power anywhere. Um I remember that he's had lawsuits against him for not like renting to black people. The Central Park Five, if you guys remember, they were the subject of the miniseries When They See Us that came out on Netflix
Ooh.
a while ago. You know what the Central Park Five are, Shane? Should
Yeah.
I?
Yeah. I'm familiar. And I also, When They See Us was just a real, just it was tough to watch.
Yeah.
Not like, and tough to watch in the sense of, like, obviously nothing was tougher than being in their shoes, but it's just like,
Just the idea
and
that
and,
something like
and
that could happen.
Yeah, it's not like I don't understand that that stuff happens, but it's still jarring to see it,
Yeah.
even if it is just a portrayal.
Yeah, I think I just but for just to run over it, a woman was sexually assaulted in Central Park in New York, and the police arrested five. Well, they arrested four um random teens, three of which were black, one of which was of Latinx descent. Um and lied to all of them to get them to basically rat on each other and rat on themselves about what happened to the woman in the park, and they all got charged and sent to prison. One guy, he wasn't even there in the park the night it happened. He went with his friend to the station to support him, and they got him framed as well. And he was a little above the age where he couldn't go to the like youth.
Juvie.
Yeah, he couldn't go to juvie, so he had to go to the adult prison, and he was only like 18.
Yeah, that's
Um, but back to the point, Donald Trump, um, during the trial, I think he straight up said, I think we should give these kids the death penalty for what they did to that woman. And in the death penalty, I have my own views on the death penalty, but
yeah,
just like the even after like years later, like let's be honest, people didn't know the reality of the situation. It wasn't proven, and they weren't vindicated until this century. Um, Even after they were vindicated and people admitted what happened, Donald Trump has refused to apologize. He posted it. He published it in his newspapers. He did all types of stuff. He's never apologized to those teenage boys who he said, yeah, they should be put to death for doing nothing. Donald Trump is just it really must there's a certain level of privilege when you've been able to go through life and not have to think about race or the concept of race or being treated differently because of your race
yeah.
at all. There's a certain amount of privilege there, and I feel like people who looked at the events of last week and were shocked. Like, I think there's a difference between, of course, everyone looked at it and were disturbed and were affected. But I think people to look at it and be shocked that it happened or that it could happen, I I think that's a reflection of some type of privilege, some type of naivety,
100%.
and the concept of racism and the power of language and rhetoric by people in positions of power. A lot of people just say like things are just words. Um, Words don't have power. People can say whatever they want and everything. It's just people making decisions are people making decisions. And, I mean, I guess to a certain degree that's true, but people definitely Hitler and the Hitler Trump comparison in some ways it works, in some ways it doesn't. But Hitler empowered an entire nation, and he never laid a finger on a Jewish person. But he spoke so much hatred and so much anger that he enabled other people to do so. And he
Yeah.
so where other people could totally see Jewish people as not human beings and treat them horribly and kill them and just do just the most awful things. I think it's, and I'll let you. I'll give it over to you in a second, Shane. Just to wrap up, I saw it, I took it in, I was upset, I was angry, but I wasn't surprised. And part of my anger was directed at not just Trump, not just his supporters, because they've told us repeatedly that this is the type of stuff that they do. They aren't doing stuff that they hadn't warned us that they were going to do already. They told us. The people that I was mad at were the people that heard him say it and were just like, he doesn't mean it. You guys are politicizing everything, or like, hey, we lost the election. You haven't seen us burn any cities down. Those were the types of people that really made me mad, because it was like, you guys chose not to believe this and now you're acting all surprised. Like, to a certain degree, it was kind of like, fuck you. Like, that's one of my moments, like, in life, where it's just like, I'm mad at just like white America, not
Yeah.
white America, and just like complacent white America. Not even like you're racist, just people that just don't care, or that I don't see race, or words don't have power. Those are the people that I was mad at on that day. Trump has always been, my opinion has not changed on Donald Trump since he got elected to now. I have felt the same way. He's not surprised me with anything he's done. He will never surprise me with anything that he does, because he is a racist. He has always been a racist, and he will always be a racist. That's never going to change. The people that give him a platform and act like he isn't a threat, those are the people that I'm upset with. And those are the people that I'm going to continue to be upset with. We already know what he did. We already know what type of person he is and his character, for you to sit there and ignore it and act like it isn't a thing, or it isn't obvious. I can't even explain. It's just, it makes me very angry. Shane, what are your thoughts?
What happened wasn't it's I got a lot to say. I'm trying to sort through the thoughts. Okay. So it's funny how Cameron kind of said it. The logic behind what they did, anybody who's able to justify, or well, who tries to, because there is no justification of this. it's the biggest thing was, I think it was just like the first big public display, like more than ever, national television, of what white supremacy is and what white privilege is. And it's cool. It's cool when we win, okay? For the for a rigged system, okay? You know, I wasn't even quite familiar with how the, like, what the Russia controversy and whatnot, with the 2016 election. I wasn't super familiar with with that whole thing, but I guess he got found guilty. And they were still defending, bro. They were like, "Oh, he president now." Like, you can't, like, I don't know. I don't even know what they were saying. I wasn't even paying attention that much. I'm like, it's just idiotic. And of course, he didn't really get impeached, because the system is set up for him to win. It took what, 5 white people dying, all that white on white crime. we got to stop the white on white crime, Cameron. Yeah. It's a big problem in America. It took white people dying for them to be like, this guy's taking it too far. White people dying on national TV. It took this for Twitter to ban him, or I guess really all the social media accounts, kind of 4 years too late. Now I do understand, as he's allotted certain privileges as the president. And honestly, like, it's I don't it's not much to talk about Trump at this point. Because Trump, he said what he said, and it's not that it didn't have an effect, and it's not that he doesn't have a part in this. He 100% was like, hey, you gotta stop. But also, they they uh they rigged this. This is, they stole this from us.
Yeah, he
Pretty
couldn't
much, like,
take a second. He couldn't just take a second and be like, stop.
it wasn't just stop. It was stop, but, and then he had countless other, like, you can't be like, I'm sorry, but also you deserved it, and also,
Yeah,
like, I totally meant to hit you, like you had it coming for you. I'm like,
exactly.
what?
Exactly.
It was so like, dude, what kind of beat? So it was. I think what happened was great. Not black people. I don't think people dying was good. Of course, no one deserves to die. That's not how I believe, but they was talking about, there's this Cameron, there's so much to unpack. It's, they talking about Blue Lives Matter. And they just, people just do stuff because they feel their whiteness being threatened.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing. That's the biggest counter action to any type of Black Lives Matter protest, because they feel like it's an encroachment on their white privilege. And they saying all this, and an officer of some kind, I don't quite know what the full title is, but they crushed, like, all these swarming people, crushed an officer to death. Like, he died from his injuries. Bro was screaming for help while all these people was flooding in, pooping on the floor, throwing it and smearing it on the wall. Did you see that? People was taking boo-boos in the Capitol. Like, what kind of, so, and then the FBI. Oh my, it's aggravating. It's aggravating. And the first, and when it was happening, I was saying stuff like, if you're not posting about this, like, you don't care, whatever, da da da. And honestly, I don't believe I shouldn't have said that, because I should if one people are gonna do what they're gonna do. Not everybody posts all the time anyways, and it was wrong of me to be like, I don't even want to talk to you no more if you're not even going to post about this, because it shows you're not caring about it, da da da. And I was just feeling like hurt, and feeling like so many people are being neglectful, and feeling anger towards people who thought this was such a crazy thing. There was a thing going around, like, I'm tired of having to live through, like, national tragedies or whatever. And I was like, mind you, it was a couple white people I saw posting this stuff. And I'm like, it's a national tragedy to you because finally on national television, the white privilege that you benefit from was shown in a widespread negative form. It was like on full display. Everybody saw what you know how they benefited from that. Obviously, we all know, best case scenario, they would have just arrested everybody if this had been Black Lives Matter protesters. First of all, none of the I don't weren't any of the Black Lives Matter protests violent until police made them violent, until outside parties made them violent.
No.
And then they 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 straight up first of all, let me backtrack. Not even backtrack, but I need to say this. Homegirl with the that was crying or whatever. First of all, I'm glad that they got the clowning on her. I'm glad that we got the clowning on a lot of people. Cause
Yeah, that guy trying to climb up the wall to Phil.
it backfired so much. There's a video or like a freeze frame image that she has an onion in her like little thing or whatever, and that's what made her cry. Like, I'm like, you pulling out all the stops, huh? Like, and nobody felt bad for you neither. So I personally found that hilarious. I'm glad no one was like, oh, this was messed up, but they shouldn't have made homegirl cry. Like, I'm glad we at a point where we can recognize that they're like,
These
what
people
are
are
you crying
stupid.
for? Like, and first of all, she was not dressed. She was not dressed for a big revolutionary change. She was dressed like she was going out for a coffee with her friends. Like, it was just so all that performative stuff was horrible. But kind of back to what I was saying, I think I was most angry at the people who I was angry at the people who found this surprising, because to Black and brown people, it's not surprising. It wasn't anything that we thought that white people weren't already thinking of trying to do or weren't capable of. Donald Trump was just an excuse and a figurehead for this. So that's why I brought him up at the beginning. But really, I mean, we all knew Donald Trump was a sack of shit.
Yeah.
But he didn't, he didn't make anybody do what wasn't already in their full power, what wasn't already a plan of theirs. He just promoted their white privilege. He said it's okay to abuse his power. It's okay to abuse the fact that your skin is the most powerful tool here. And they took full advantage of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Man, I don't know. And 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 I'm also glad like people can recognize that how kind of toxic or not toxic, like how corrupt media is in this sense. The fact that they were, I'm glad that people were able to call out the fact that they're not using language like terrorism in this regard, even though this is domestic terrorism at like
Yeah,
I
it
don't know.
literally is.
What else. it I believe Christmas morning, I don't know if you read about this. There was, I don't remember dude's name, but there was a dude in Nashville, Tennessee, who drove out and ended up like bombing like a whole city block or whatever.
Yeah.
And the scary part about that was the fact that police sort of kind of knew that
Yeah.
bro was suspicious and didn't do anything. Not anything useful. It was scary. It's scary that he's able to accrue the material for over a year for bombs enough to bomb a city block and drive out his RV to a city and do that.
Yeah.
Um and I heard something. I heard from another podcast I watched. People media and stuff doesn't use language like terrorism when it comes to white people, because when white people act up and they do something horrendous, they try to understand and sympathize with it. They try to like, oh, he's got mental, like the mental illness card. Oh, white people, when it comes to domestic terrorism, love to pull out the mental illness card. When there was just a string of school shootings, that was the biggest thing. Oh, we should, you know, oh, they're all just, they got mental illness and whatnot. First of all, low key, I'm not even trying to start nothing right now. I can't remember a black school shooter. Um,
And that's just flaw. It's like not everybody that has a mental illness is going to go shoot up a school. It's like they don't care. It's like they literally don't care about mental illness. They're using it as an excuse.
they don't.
Mental illness.
They don't. You know why they don't? Because look, I don't know the exact numbers. So y'all look up how many cases turn violent or deadly when police are called to a mental illness emergency. There was a video recently where somebody was called because somebody was having a mental health breakdown or having an episode of whatever mental illness they were dealing with. A police officer showed up, and within very brief time, shoots bro 3 times. They called because he's having a mental illness breakdown, and cops are not trained to deal with mental illness. They're trained to shoot their gun. So what are they gonna do? they they're not trained. They're not trained to talk through and be calm and let's work this out. And we'll take this time. It's
What
it's
are cops trained to do? Like, what is your like? Sometimes I'm not like, and I'm not even trying to bash cop. First off, if you're like, oh, man, don't make fun of police officers. Stop watching. We don't want you. Yeah, okay, so yeah, if you're getting upset about people talking about cops, you can leave. We don't need.
bro.
We don't
Bro,
have
that's
very
what I'm
many
saying, Cameron.
subscribers.
We don't care about your view that
We
much. We
don't.
don't
We
care
don't
about
care
your
about your
view.
views. We don't care about your subscription. Leave. I don't.
No. Matter of fact, leave a dislike. Leave a dislike on the video.
Dislike this video.
Yeah, dislike if you don't like what we talking about, dislike the video and show your concerns so I can calm your ass in the comment.
Yes, but I just like what are they like trained to like the fact that they're so quick to like kill people. It's like what's even the point? Like, so should I just call you when should I just call you when I want someone dead? Like, is that what you're here? Are you judge like I recently got into because I watched this really cool animated thing. But I recently got into Judge Dredd,
Huh?
and Judge Death. Um, Judge Death basically he's a police officer, and he will kill he will frame it to look like a murder just so he could sentence. He likes to arrest, prosecute, and sentence the people that he arrests, and sentence the people that he arrests to death.
Golly.
Um,
What show is this?
This is Judge Dredd. It was a animated mini series type thing on YouTube. It's called Judge Dredd Super Fiend.
That's hilarious.
But it's like, but then I was watching and I was like, wait, this is a lot like police officers now. It's like, just like think of like George Floyd. He was apparently he like bounced a check. Let's say he even bounced a check, right? Like, handle it. Like, dude, like, is that the response that we're gonna give to people who bounce checks? Or like Breonna Taylor,
was sleeping,
and then they busted through her door, and they got surprised when they were like, okay, well, someone's busted through our door in the middle of the night. I'm gonna shoot back. Didn't announce themselves, didn't do anything, caught them off guard. They responded. It's just like, what are they like? take this however way you want to. It's like, what are they good for? Like, what are some of these cops good for? It's like,
Bro,
what are you supposed? I don't even get what your point is. Is your point to look scary so we get back into? You like that teacher, like the community assistants, that like walk around the school and everything, and their job is just to like look scary and like they have like power and everything. Like, I'll write you
where,
up.
bro?
Like, are you just community assistants? That's what I'm gonna consider police officers now.
Their
They're
community is
community
just for the
assistants.
paycheck.
Glorified
I feel like
community assistants that by
community
white
assistants
people.
at schools just be showing up for lunch and breakfast.
Yeah.
I feel like they just, hey, it's a good meal today. Hey, you got them fresh toast sticks, man. Hey, you know they're my favorite. Hey, thank you, Miss Betty. You know what I'm saying? They don't even be getting a check for real. Oh my gosh, Cameron.
Yeah, it's
Hold on.
just
Wait. This speaking of community assistance, I'm sorry, just to step off track a little bit.
yeah, sure.
There was a picture going around of I'm on my phone right now, so I'm gonna leave Zoom, but I'm still talk to y'all. But my camera's gonna be off. Okay. So I'm gonna send this picture over to Cameron. There was a there's a video or a picture of, matter of fact, I'm gonna just let you look at it. But the picture is titled Faces of White Supremacy. And I'm gonna let you see who made an appearance on there. And matter of fact, Cameron, I want you to read it off too if you wanna.
Tracy Lock. Wait, am I reading the
Can you read the text? Can you read it fine?
Since 2015, Kevin Hudson has suspended more Black and Latinx kids than any administrator in the district. Under Tracy Lowder, Pioneer's faculty has the lowest amount of people of color since the 1970s. Under Tracy Lowder, Black and Latinx kids make up over 75% of the disciplinary referrals, while only accounting for just over 20% of the population. Under Tracy Lowder, Black and Latinx kids make up over 70% of men, make up over 70% of suspensions, while only accounting for just over 20% of the population. Men lie, women lie. Tracy Lowder lies a lot, but numbers don't. Kevin Hudson is, I'll read a couple of more. Kevin Hudson is an agent for the police. He will take statements from your child without your consent or knowledge and deliver them to the authorities. This is evident in the case of 3 Black boys in 2012, where Kevin nearly destroyed their lives by taking coax statements from them and handing them over to the AAPD without their parents' knowledge or legal consent being made. So just so you guys know, Tracy Lowder and Kevin Hudson. Tracy Lowder is a principal at a Pioneer High School. Kevin Hudson is one of the class principals at Pioneer High School. They're both Black, but they both perpetuate these. They both enable these types of, and this is in Ann Arbor public schools. So once again, for anyone that's like Ann Arbor is the place to be, no, it ain't. It really is not. Coming from an Ann Arbor public school to Ann Arbor public schools graduates. No, no.
I dropped out of school. I got my GED. so
you don't have to have that tagged on you.
Well, that's not the reason I was not doing well in school, but that's funny. As far as y'all know, I just don't want to be I don't want to be associated with that racism. You know what I'm saying? So, I said, GED cool. I'm gonna just settle for this. But yeah, man. and that's a whole nother conversation, because with that we can start talking about school choice and how destructive that is.
Mhm.
We can talk about, you know, well, Cameron talked about a fair amount of it, but yeah, they to they enable this behavior, and they allow this behavior because them white people pay, and that's the biggest thing.
There's a word that I'm not gonna use, but there's a word that describes black
Wait,
people.
you mean coon?
Okay, well, Shane went ahead and said yes. There's the coon. Let me see if I can come up with find the official definition. But essentially, a coon is it's a black person that will turn on their race to support white people.
The most famous example, Uncle Ruckus.
Yeah.
And well, that's probably not the most famous
Well,
example, but
yeah, but Uncle, yes,
Uncle Ruckus, and then Samuel L. Jackson from the Django.
Django. But yeah, the D is silent. That's a whole line. There's a whole line in the movie. Have you seen it? Anyway, while Shane contemplates his grasp on art, yeah, just to wrap this up, um, and just on top of Shane, it's just like these people are just stupid. They walked
First of all,
all up
Cameron,
in
you're not gonna make. First of all, hold on. First of all, you're not gonna make me look stupid. That's number one.
the.
Oh, that's bad. You're right though. It is Django. Yes, I saw the movie, dickhead. Golly.
Just to wrap this up, it's just like these people are stupid. I'm not even like super mad at the Trump. These people are stupid, right? They walked all up in the
They're
Capitol
so
with
dumb.
they're so adverse to masks that they didn't even wear anything to disguise their identities. They just
Bruh.
walked all up in there and then got surprised they all got caught. Like it's just like these aren't smart people. They're anyone that can get brainwashed by someone who isn't intelligent himself has failed at every business he has started, who got a handout from his father, which is the only reason why he's successful today, graduated from his own university because he couldn't graduate from the one that he got into. Anyone who can let this billionaire manipulate him into thinking he's basically God, they're not smart. I'm like,
Man, and FBI had the nerve to come to social media talking about, if you guys can identify anybody, like y'all wouldn't have no problem if these was Black Panthers. Y'all wouldn't have no problem identifying who they were. You'd be hacking into international codes, every single security database. Like, FBI, do
they
your
have
job.
they have files on local Black Lives Matter leaders.
They got like face scanner technology and whatnot.
When it
Like,
comes to
bro,
people like
don't play
David,
me like an idiot.
who has been in this in the spotlight for years and everything. And they're like, hey, like, can you help us like identify these like clan leaders? Like,
I'm
we're
like, you talking about the same folks that's taking pictures, bro? Like the same ones that's like, yeah, we storming the Capitol. Like their faces are on camera. Some of them taking pictures with the police officers. First of all, what we didn't talk about, Cameron, them police officers, I heard this from another podcast as well. Them police officers was letting them all in because this was really just a white barbecue. They all cousins. They all cousins and family members. They all knew each other. They how you doing, Fran, Joseph, Barbara, type deal. I'm like, they had the nerve to start taking pictures with them and stuff. What the FBI gonna talk about with all these people? who get on camera and was bragging about the fact, was sitting in officials' chairs, all of that, and you can't identify them by yourselves, FBI, for real.
Yeah, that's it.
How weak and how unorganized and really how one-sided, despite all the unorganization and all the chaos and all the just really like it's how poorly put together this is, and despite all that, there's still we not put together very well, but we hate them blacks.
Yeah. I
Golly.
Yeah, just to like yeah, to bring this to a close, um, we're not surprised. The only people that are surprised are white people who don't have to think about it and that
That's
choose
it.
not to think about it.
That's it. Nobody else is surprised. Nobody else. Everybody else knew this was possible,
This
except for the white people who benefit from it every day.
and this was it. It's also I saw a funny. So you know how like at the end of just a quick thing. You know how at the end of uh Spider-Man into the Spider-Verse, how like Spider-Man like 2099 goes back into like the 60s Spider-Man and they're like pointing at each other. Like
Yeah.
I saw this one funny video where it was like a Spider-Man with like a clan mask on, and then when there was a Spider-Man with a like police hat on, and they were pointing at each other, like, I'm Spider-Man. That's funny. People were getting
Yo,
creative with these things.
look, I told this to Cameron. Black people gonna get these jokes off. You hear me? You hear me? They gonna get these doggone jokes off. Because despite it all, we still gonna make water out of wine, huh? I'm not entirely sure that's how that goes. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, that's
I sound like an idiot tonight, y'all.
gonna
I
turn
sound like
wine back into water.
okay. Well, first of all, that's why only your girlfriend likes you. So that's why you know what I'm saying. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Hey, I sound like an idiot right now. You gonna forget the last hour? Let's do that. Through all my hardships and whatnot. Anyways, yeah, we gonna get these jokes off. I'ma laugh at them. I'ma, you know, if y'all ain't seen the Animaniacs one, that's the best edit I've seen all 2021. That is hilarious. Da, 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 da. They pushed me out and maced me, and then at the end where she was like, like the little, oh my goodness, the editing skills, I'ma love it. Yeah, so I'm glad we ain't let nobody off the hook. I'm glad we on their tail, but
Yeah, and if you
like
get
Cameron,
upset watching this, leave. We don't give a shit about you or your family that feels the same.
or your yeah,
Um,
for real.
yeah.
Dang, the family too, Cameron.
I'm just like I'm just tired of these ignorant
Nah,
people.
bro, I'm with you, bro. I'm with you.
All right. Well, with that, um,
Back to our regularly scheduled program.
we have we left off. If you guys have been following, we left off on episode 4 of Lovecraft Country. Um, this show is starting. This show is starting to get weird. It's starting to get weird. I was surprised that Uncle George died the second episode. So it's
That's
just
so messed up, dude.
like in hindsight, I'm like, wait, because first episode I thought he was gonna be like one of the main characters throughout the entire
You know
thing.
what I'm saying?
I was like, okay, they got rid of him. Um, but we are on episode 4, and if we the last episode ended with Tick trying to kill the super blonde white woman, Christina, but he couldn't hold the trigger to the gun. Um, this episode opens with it's a montage of Montrose. He's
I like that alliteration, bro.
montage of Montrose, yeah. He's reading the pages, the Braithwaite's book that he got from Uncle George before he died. He reads all the pages and then he burns the book. It's like, yeah, nobody's gonna read this now. It's very selfish, very ignorant, very selfish. But we catch back up to Tick and Letitia. Letitia knows Tick is trying to figure out some stuff, and Letitia is they both know that Montrose knows more than he's letting on. But Tick is like he's not gonna tell us. So what's even the point of trying? And then Letitia's like, no, we're gonna try anyway. And they meet up. They ask him if he has any information about the Braithwaites or about all the questions that we've been pondering for these last couple of episodes, and he says nothing. He basically says, hey, stop trying to chase these ghosts. You're not gonna find something that you want to find. And then Tick, this guy's been his father for years and everything, so he's just like, you know what, I knew this was gonna happen. You're a dick, you've always been a dick, I'm leaving. And Letitia basically says the same thing. She's just like, you're gonna let your son kill himself trying to figure this out. And you're just not
Right.
okay, yeah, I see where he gets his asshole nature from.
Mm-hmm.
Took them both out at the same time, which is funny.
Letitia not playing.
Yeah. So he relents, and lets them know that the Book of Names is stored in a vault in a museum that's in Boston. He's like, okay, we're gonna drive over to Boston. But but he doesn't have a car of his own, so he has to borrow the car of Uncle George's wife. Do you remember what her name is? But he has to borrow her car, so she's basically like with her and her daughter, her daughter is big brained, likes to read, very smart. They're like, oh, we're going to a museum. Okay, we're coming along then. It's my car.
But also, Uncle George's wife is still pretty suspicious.
Yeah, she isn't buying this whole like a cop shot him stuff. She's like, well, I think he would have been smart enough to de-escalate the situation.
Right.
That's kind of the vibe, you know. It's like, I know my husband is smart. I know he knows how to act around white people.
Facts.
Especially these kind of white people. I mean, he made the Green Book. Like, he made the book of where you're supposed to go and not to go. So to just be like, yeah, cops killed him. That's just kind of like, well, like, you know,
It's fishy business.
it's fishy. And then right when they're getting ready to leave, it's funny. Another bum from town hops in. He's like, hey, I got this thing in Boston.
He's my second favorite character right now for
he
sure.
hopped in front of the car. And Tickle's like, what the hell are you doing? He's like, let me just, hey, can I hitch a ride? I'm not trying to spend that bus fare. I'm trying to. And they're just like, yeah, go ahead and get it. So it's a big type of road trip. So they get into the museum and they're looking around. Montrose goes and talks to a guy that is gonna let them into the museum after hours. And Uncle George's wife and his daughter go and they look at stuff. They're looking around for the entrance. Um, the one dude who hopped in, um, he made a comment in one of the earlier episodes about like trying to egg. It was the last episode. I'm pretty sure he was trying to egg Tigani. He was like, "Hey, it looks like your girl Letitia is getting some business. What are you gonna do about that?" Bro, don't you live in this house? And she's just all
Real.
dude.
He said, "Dang, you gonna let bro disrespect you like that in your own crib, man?"
Like, hey, I mean, like, hey, if you're gonna let him do that, then like you might as well let me like hit it again. I mean, I hit
He's
it.
talking about, yeah, he's talking about, back in the day, me and Letitia, you know what I'm saying? We was
So he likes to antagonize people, and that wasn't true. But he likes to antagonize people. So he says he's going. Tick is looking around, and he basically makes a comment about like he basically calls Tick gay or makes an allusion to that, and then Tick is like, I'm not. He makes a comment about him and Sammy. Sammy is a bartender who's is widely known that he's homosexual. Um, and Tick is like, I'm not gay, so you can get out of here with that. He's like, well, I know Montrose and Sammy have been hanging out a lot lately. So it's like, hey, you might not be gay, but your daddy is. And it was just kind of like, all right, you're just. But Tick took a second and thought about it. He was like, wait, pause, and then and he thought about it. It was like, is he being serious, or is he just trying to egg me on like last time, like saying, hey, I smashed your
Mhm.
girl? Because he definitely is the type of guy to they'll say just ignorant stuff like that, like, hey, you know that girl that I like that you like, yeah, she liked me first. You could very
Right.
obviously go to like,
He's
yeah,
just trying to stir shit up.
yeah, your dad's gay, right? I'm just saying, I'm just saying, like stupid like middle school stuff. Um, but eventually they go back to the vault after like at night, and there's this real cool thing. They're going through tunnels for a while. They eventually start going through. They have to like walk across this like beam, um, which starts. There's this huge sequence. They're going through this vault. They're walking across a beam, which starts like disintegrating behind them. So they got to keep their balance and run across this beam. Um, Montrose helps them out with the combinations to stuff.
Montrose was it's not an important detail. Go ahead.
No.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna regret saying like even bringing it up because it doesn't really add anything. It would okay. Here we go. Montrose was waiting because Tick went on ahead to check on Letitia because he didn't know what was going on. Because it was like foggy or dust or whatever was going on under there. So he went on ahead, and it started crumbling from like the entrance. So they couldn't go back. You know what I'm saying? So it so Montrose was still on the platform before the beam, and Tick ran back, and he was like, "Oh snap!" So Montrose had to jump to Tick, and he was like, "You better not drop me," type stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. That was I think that sets up what happens a little later on, but or not sets it up, but it's important. It's an important detail of that trust uh coming late that is fuck, that we talk about a little bit later on in the episode. But
Mm-hmm.
go ahead, Cameron. You got it.
So they reach this passage. I think they got it. This is where they start going through the water. They start going through. There's water in the tunnel, and they had to use a torch. The water starts getting high, Oh wait, no, wait. Do they go through water twice?
No, it was just a continuous. It just kept rising.
Because they find a like a skeleton that has a scroll, and then they're like, okay, um, I think that's the stuff that you need. And Montrose goes and no, Tick goes and tries to grab it, and then the skeleton starts fighting back and vibrating, and then it comes to life and transforms into.
That's way ahead, sir.
What do you mean?
Or well, it's not ahead. It just you just skip. I feel like you skipped a couple. Because
All right, fill it in.
okay, you calling me out right now, and I do not remember the whole episode. Um, okay, here we go. Um, so after they get across, and Montrose gives them the whatever code or whatever for the door because the platform was about to crumble. And so Tick is pissed off because he's like, bro, you obviously know some stuff that you're not telling us. And you're just being like, what are you being secretive about? All that. So he's mad, and Letitia goes on ahead because he's like, would y'all stop arguing type stuff? They have a little father son bonding moment. And this was important because Montrose was not a good father growing up.
Hmm.
So that was nice and everything. I want to say that Tick and Letitia had a little moment. Don't quite remember, but I to get into the place where the skeleton started crumbling and everything. Tick had to stick his hand in there,
Yeah,
and something he started bleeding. Something got him or whatever, and
there was
it started
already
bleeding.
it's like if you're not, it pricks your finger, and if like the blood isn't right, it like there when he got there was a ripped off arm. Because
Yeah,
someone didn't have the credentials to be putting their hand in there. So he puts his hand in, it pricks his finger, and then like clamps down, and they think it's about to rip his arm off.
yeah, that joke was. I was like, golly, that's stressful.
But then the door opened. They were able to get through. Um, and then that's where they get to the skeleton.
Pretty much.
Is there something else?
No, no, no. It, I, I don't know. I probably just wanted to hear my own voice. I don't know. I don't know what happened there.
um. Okay. Yeah. So the skeleton. To see the scroll. They get the scroll. Um. It starts to come to life. And it turns into a human that has um both male and female anatomy. Um, it has they have breast, a vagina, and a penis next to the vagina. Which
Hey, Cameron, why was that? Why was that an important detail?
because I think it's like it has a it has a name. It's like that they gave it in the show. Wait, it's called like a two spirit. So I guess it's like two things, right?
I was trying to call you out, but you're actually right. There was a name or whatever for it. Um,
They have a whole bunch of like tattoos and markings on their body.
a
Um,
little creepy. I'm not gonna lie.
yeah,
The whole
to a certain degree, it looked cool, and then to a certain degree, it was like it was unnerving. You could tell by their reactions that they were kind of like, "What?"
it was really the shaking skeleton. I was like, whoa, relax.
And then they speak a language that they
Man,
don't know. Well, that
yeah.
nobody understands but Tick. So Tick is communicating with them. Um, and they tell Tick that they won't help him because they don't understand. They don't know. They said they'll come with him, but they won't help him because they don't know where his heart is yet. But when they agree to help and like they're getting ready to leave, the place where they are is underwater and the windows break, kind of like in Titanic. And water starts flooding the place. And they start running and the water is rising up to like their neck level. They're trying to like swim and get out. And then Tick, somewhere in that they lose the scroll, so Letitia has to go underwater and swim to grab the scroll and bring it back. They get the elevator shaft to work. And then the elevator shaft goes up. And they're free, they're alive. And the conversation that Shane mentioned between Tick and his father Montrose, Montrose was basically telling him that like to make sure that it's to make sure that he keeps his girl happy, keeps Letitia happy.
Did that happen after that?
No.
Oh.
Because in the Tick and Letitia have been on kind of Tick has been being a little mean, very, very kind of I know what I'm doing, very stubborn.
Yeah.
It's been pissing Letitia off. And when they finally make it through, Tick grabs her and he kisses her. And that's they've been flirting with each other, and they had this awkward kind of like not necessarily awkward, just kind of this spontaneous like smash session in a bathroom, but it wasn't like romantic and it didn't mean a ton. It was just like a spur of the moment thing. And it was motivated by Tick being intimidated by what the guy said as opposed to him actually wanting to do it at that moment. So this was kind of like the kickoff to their relationship, and they're sharing this passionate kiss, and it's cute. And then this two spirit starts shrieking, high pitch, top volume. They gotta cover they're covering their ear, just out of nowhere. And nobody knows. Tick and I laughed so hard when this happened to get the two spirit to shut up. Tick punches them as hard as he can in the face and knocks them unconscious.
Oh my goodness, Cameron, you killed that scream, bro. You killed
Oh,
oh,
um,
oh my goodness.
A curse was placed on them where if they left that vault, they couldn't speak English. All they could do is make that annoying shrieking sound, so they couldn't communicate. So they get back. Montrose tells Tick how proud he is of him. And they're gonna try to teach the two spirit English or sign language so they can communicate. On the side, Letitia's sister Ruby is still mad at her for taking their mother's money to buy the house, because she's like, some of that money, that was my mom too, and some of that money belonged to me. So she's upset. Because she's
mad at that. He's mad that she even got any money after not showing up to the funeral. All of that.
So she's at a bar, just kicking it. And then William, who the young blue-eyed white man, comes and talks to her at the bar. Talks to her about her life, talks to her about her aspirations, lets her vent. And then he starts trying to mac. And at first she's like, no white boy. But then he keeps pushing. And then she's like, yeah, no, we're smashing. And then they smash passionately. She like cuts her hand, and then he takes her hand and like sucks the blood off her hand. I'm like, these ooh.
I don't like nobody that much. that was.
See, Shane, that's you gotta figure that out. You suck the blood of the people you love. You gotta figure that out. You're over here being naive.
You got me damned.
But yeah, just they don't even get to like a bed. They just kind of collapse on the steps.
What kind of sexual move is that where you suck somebody's blood? What kind of yuck? Anyways.
Yes, but she has sex with this very, very spooky white man.
Very, very spooky white man is a very funny statement.
Yes, but the episode ends. Tick and like Letitia are chilling. They go to bed. Montrose tells Tick that he's proud of him and everything, and it's just like this cool father son moment. Montrose is like, don't worry, I'll keep up with the two-spirit. Go get some rest. And it's like, okay, all right, good night, Dad. Montrose walks over, puts his hand on the two-spirit's shoulder, says, I'm sorry, and cuts the two-spirit's throat, and it cuts to black. For some reason, Montrose does not want his son finding out anything more than he already knows. He will tell him as much as he can without telling him anything. He, for some reason that we don't know yet, he does not want him to know certain things. And that's how the episode ended. On a
that
bit
part was nuts. I was like, bro, y'all was just in the cave, bro. Y'all was just doing your what's it called? What's y'all was just doing y'all Indiana Jones, and now you about to he talking about I'm sorry, and then cuts her throat. I'm like, I was like, bro, relax.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's like what is he trying to protect? I think that's the interesting thing. It's like, is he trying to, because you get the idea that he's not trying to like fuck his son over, right?
Yeah.
But
it also feels, go ahead.
He's just going out of his way to deter him. And it's interesting. It's like, why don't you want to help him? And
it feels like somebody's got something on him.
Yeah.
Like, if Tick gets too far into it, like something's gonna happen to Tick and to him.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, bro is just pulling out all the stops.
Yeah, but that's how our episode left off. And with that, Shane, do you have any? I am going to go plug my phone up. Shane, is there anything that you want to say to the viewers?
Hope y'all having a good new year. You know what I'm saying? So far, there's a lot to go. I don't believe in New Year, New Me, all that stuff. I probably already talked about it and everything, but do your best, live your best life. Whatever that means. Hope y'all having a good one. Spread the word. You know what I'm saying? This was a good episode, as they all are, really. You know what I'm saying? They all good episodes, good
Yeah.
content, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, bro, this show some love, man. You know, show it to a couple people if you feel like it. Hope y'all having a good one. I'm long-winded as always. Cameron, any last words from you?
I just want to say thank you guys for coming and watching us. We're gonna be making some changes to the podcast. I hope you guys still continue to support us as much as you have. We're making it so it's little episodes are a little bit more digestible, but then at the same time a little bit more in depth on the specific things that we want to talk about, and we're really excited to bring that to you guys. And we thank all you guys for being with us and on this journey that we've been on anyway. The best is yet to come. And with that, I want to say goodbye. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Cameron Collins podcast from Cameron Graham and your robot dancing co-host.
Oh, you thought I was gonna say my name? Wait, you thought I was gonna say my name? Wait, you thought I was gonna say my name and I just keep dancing? Okay.
I did.
Okay.
I was like, should I say it for him or like is it gonna
No, I'm just being an asshole to Cameron. It's Shane Collins from Cameron Graham, Shane Collins. It's been the Cameron Collins Collective. Great seeing y'all. Hope to see y'all again soon.
All right.
Peace, y'all.
Take care, guys.